speed types last night had a little give up in them, and so they were coming back to the fields a little, but we'll see if that continues today.
Yeah, it just seems like this field, I mean, every one of these except Texas Red Bell need the lead to run their best race.
Yes.
I mean, you look at all these, their best races seem to always be on the lead.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I thought Texas Red Bell should have no excuse, really.
Yeah. It could be a big day for Mora. You've got Gerardo Mora in the first
true.
3 races now.
Wow.
On we go to the 4th. Now, we've got some scratches rolling in here, and this is going to cause a lot of havoc for my picks. We're getting the scratches here as we go because of the early hour. 2 Are Captivating is out, and the 5 From Moro, and the 6 Pivolan.
Oh, my goodness.
2, 5, 6 are out, so there will be win and exacta wagering and multi-leg wagering only on this 4th race. No place, no show, no try, no super in race 4. Take out the 2, the 5, and the 6. We're just finding this out now. So my original comment on this race was come and catch Rancho Bargo because I thought he was the lone speed to begin with. Now I scratch into him, and I think he might just whistle.
Yeah, it might be a good thing. We just talked before coming down how Ronnie Cravens won the last 2 races last night, and what a great meeting he's had, and now he may end up in a really good spot here. Ice Blast is my top selection now. Had a nice maiden special weight win going a mile here at Lone Star on May 19th. Returned a month later with a really nice finish, finishing up 3rd behind Wildwood Z, was a runner-up who's had a really good meet, terrific early speed, and Beyond Hello, who appears to have, a bit of talent. So Ice Blast, I'm happy to have this one here for Steve Asmussen. Rancho Bargo, as Jim mentioned, this is the one to catch. And then that leaves me Big Power Red for my 3rd selection. May not have liked the mud in this last start. It was a claimed horse, but nevertheless did not like the mud. And the previous race was a 2nd place finish behind Fra Moro. So, if you can make an excuse for his race in the mud, then he's a contender in this very small field.
Yeah. I don't know what to think now about the, when we get these scratches last second, which is kind of a occupational hazard when we're doing these shows this early. I haven't really had a chance to evaluate, but I guess I'm pretty solid with Rancho Bargo. I mean, I've kind of liked this guy. I picked him a couple outs ago when he was 7-1, and he disappointed me, and then I had him last time when he only was beaten a neck by one of your favorite horses in G's Turn. Mm-hmm. He ran a nice race. We'll see if he can get the mile and an eighth. I think that's an interesting question.
Another winner for Mora, perhaps, if you're right in this one.
Man. Saturday might be moving day up the standings for Mora. On to race 5. Looks like our next batch of scratches is not until the 8th race, so I think we're good on that. Race 5, $4,000 claimers, 5.5 panels.
Yeah, when I first saw this race, I got down to alternate time, and I said, okay, Matt Hebert, man, he's dropping to win. I mean, he's in a great spot to win, and then I get to the 8, and I'm like, hold on a minute. Same situation. Broberg is taking a huge drop in class, obviously, to win. I mean, this Arkansas bred's won over $100,000 this year, thanks to a couple wins in Hot Springs. Buyer figures look best. This is a huge drop in class. Yeah. I mean, this is the type of horse that is going to be even money, maybe even less. Has a lot of talent in here. It just, man, you see top outfits like Broberg's lose with this type before. Look too good to be true, especially when you have some decent options like Alternate Time, who's coming out of really nice optional claiming races. Ran well. Last time he was in a straight claiming race. 3 starts back here on May 12th. It goes wire to wire at 6.5 furlongs. I would definitely in a multi-race wager have to use Alternate Time as well as I'm a Bling Cat, even though, like I said, that one's going to be really short. And Blue Sky Jade, who, he's been knocking heads at this level all meet, been running very well, back-to-back second-place finishes, has good early speed, should appreciate the distance. He is 2 for 6 at this abbreviated 5.5 furlongs.
And for all those reasons, and just the fact that I think he's been sharper, and I think there's giant neon signs flashing about I'm a Bling Cat and Alternate Time, I'm taking Blue Sky Jade. I think I'll be up in the race. I think I'll be right on the lead probably, or right up there in it. He's been sharp. I thought his last race was pretty solid. In fact, I have Euro exit third. I'm going to take the horses that I think are a little bit sharper over I'm a Bling Cat, who, did a lot of his best work this spring at Hot Springs against Arkansas breds. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He put up some really nice buyers there. It just looks to me like he might be a little bit over the top. And, Broberg took this horse for 20, and he's pretty much, gotten his money back, I think, and then some from him. So it's kind of like, okay, let's move on from him. And I just think he might be vulnerable today. He's going to be a super short price. There's a lot to like about him, but I'm going to just try to beat him. So I'm going to go 3-8-2. On we go to the 6th, the mile on turf. Texas bred filly first level allowance runners.
Yeah, a lot of these have taken turns beating each other. I went with Wilburn's Classy Lady for Danny Pish. Returns fresh, has not raced since March 2nd at Houston. At Houston, after a very long layoff, debuted here on turf in a maiden special weight race, was narrowly beaten, finished in front of Cold Night Air, who's going to be a big contender here. Then second start after the long layoff, defeats maiden special weight rivals by nearly 7 lengths. Buyer figures aren't great. However, I got plus marks by both of them because horses coming out of those 2 races have earned numbers that make you think maybe those numbers, could be a little bit on the lower side. Cold Night Air, talk about consistency. Took blinkers off, 4 starts back. 2 of those races were on dirt where this horse can barely stand up. Finally got back to turf on May 14th and has run 2 terrific races. One was a narrow defeat behind Optimistic Cowgirl, who looks like a pretty decent our Texas bred. And then last time out, got the lead in the 24-second opening quarter and just drew off to win comfortably. Looks to be in really good form for Broberg and Eccleberry, so, I'll take that one second. And then Airline Drive, who was really good last year as far as buyers go. Few second-place finishes at this same state-bred allowance condition. This year was slow to get going, but the last 3 starts have been progressively better, culminating in that second-place finish behind Optimistic Cowgirl.
Yeah, Airline Drive is one of those that, loves to cash checks, is always in it. One of these days is gonna outgame somebody in the stretch, but generally settles for second or third. But so I never really know what to do with her. I used her third as well. I took Cold Night Air. I think maybe, she might be right up on the front end. Cosmetology was interesting from looking at it. She found herself on the lead against Boys last time out in that mile and an 8th race with King Congo, and it took King Congo, who's a real plotter, but he finally found a distance that he liked, the whole length of the stretch to get by her. And, she ran pretty well as the favorite against male rivals. I didn't know what to do much with her either because she's generally been an off-the-pace type. I used her 4th. So I took Cold Night Air just because, like you mentioned, that race 2 races back on the turf seems like a key race. Last time she ran well, was expected to. She was 2-5, but she ran really solidly. And so I'm going to take her over Wilburn's Classy Lady, who is definitely a lot better now as a 3-year-old than she was as a 2-year-old. So she fits very solidly in here. I went 4-2-1. On we go to the 7th. Texas bred fillies. These are maiden special weights. These are 3-year-olds and up. I had to take a double check to make sure this wasn't a 2-year-old race just because there's not much experience, racing experience with some of these. And they are going 6 furlongs.
Yeah, I made it a 2-horse race on the line. Wicked Song, 6-5. Why that? Well, the horse was 4-5 and broke her maiden before being disqualified on June 19th. So you would obviously think this horse may be around 4-5, but Secret Reunion is training like a filly who might be ready to win at first asking, so therefore I made 6-5 on Wicked Song, 9-5 on Secret Reunion. Some really nice works for this one. Also, if you looked at career workouts, which I like to do, in 2021 at Lone Star Park, this same filly was training pretty well then. Obviously something happened, freshened her back up. Now she debuts as a 4-year-old. And Diodoro's been very good, winning with first-time starters for probably 10 years now. So I'm not concerned whatsoever. Torres has been riding for him successfully. So I don't know, that buyer figure on Wicked Song just wasn't that strong. Therefore, I felt like, if this Diodoro filly can run, then she should win.
Yeah.
And then let's go to Zapata's Way, who did run a nice third behind Wicked Song. First time out, didn't break especially well. You can make a case. Second time out, breaking a little sharper, maybe being up in there, won't be 5 wide. And second-time starters are always quite interesting because that's generally the race where horse will improve the most.
Yeah. I went the same way. I went Secret Reunion over Wicked Song. Wicked Song ran a really nice race visually, except for one mistake, and it was very costly. It was a duck in at about the 8th pole, interfered with her inside rival, and I think the rider, Alvarez, did all he could to keep her straight. She was just bound and determined to duck in at that point, and it cost her. And my question is, the fig was kind of low. She probably won't do that again. That was her first race off a layoff. She might have been starting to get a little tired. Who knows? But how do we know she won't do something like that again and do it at a very short price? So I went ahead with the idea of maybe potential over what we've already known. Secret Reunion's drills look really good. 4-year-old. I'm going with potential and potential talent over experience and going 6, 5, 7. Caracantina, intriguing to me. She came out last year in a maiden special weight race. Came from well out of it under Luis Quinones at 7-2. Ran okay and then went on the shelf and has just never really been the same since, but maybe some time off will help her. To me, it was kind of a grab bag for third after the top.
It's interesting because Wicked Song earned that 44, but the buyer par for state-bred fillies is only 47. So perhaps,
it's about where it should be.
Yeah, it's about where it should be.
I think Secret Reunion. I mean, it's hard for me to anticipate figs, but I would think she could beat 44.
I would too.
I mean, that's something that I'm just basically imagining or making up. But okay, we got a couple scratches out of the 8th. My 4th pick, the 5, Detective Bernardo, is out of this one. And also the 6, Tisnow's Grandson, is scratched. Tisnow's Grandson was interesting only because there was a trainer change. He was gelded. I mean, he was obviously a deserved long shot, but now he's out and got a pretty interesting group here. I think there could be some good prices on a winner in this race.
Yeah, the top 3 choices for me came out of the Mugi Sun race, and now Detective Bernardo, who is one of them, is out. Raised the purse of the 10, drew a really nice post position at 6 1/2. Be outside of rivals, has good speed. Buyer figures of 52 and 56. I know one was on turf, but are obviously really good. Started the year in a maiden 15 at Houston, finished second. And then last time out, like I said, in a maiden 12-5, beaten 4 lengths, but again, earned a buyer figure that, certainly good enough to win, I believe. Knighted finished just in front of Raise the Purses last time out. He was actually a slightly shorter price, too, than that one. Gets Diego back aboard, who's, a fine rider himself. And the extra distance, I think, it may work in his favor. Looks like his recent second-place finishes, have been good. He finishes up, just fine. A really tough call for me, to be honest with you. On the line, I'm not even sure. Since United took a little more money than Raise the Purses, I went the other way on the lines, really, because it was a much-improved race. Broberg's previous race with this horse, he got beat 16. Now I feel like the Broberg people will be back out now that the horse comes off a much better race.
And he took the blinkers back off, too.
Yeah.
He put blinkers on and just stopped to a walk. Then they took the blinkers back off, and it appears he's much better without the blinkers.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he wants to go 6 1/2 furlongs either. I mean, it's that type of race. The one horse, Secret Survivor, is now my next selection. This could be the one. He's improving. Finished second last time out at a mile. The 6 1/2 furlongs actually will work in his favor based on the running style of his 2 route races. Looks like he's improved since Caldwell took over the training on this one. Draws inside, which shouldn't be a big deal because he's going to fall quite a ways out of it and should be rolling late, I would think.
I hope he doesn't fall as far back as he did on June 5th. I mean, he dropped right out of the image pretty much that day. I've been following this guy since that June 5th race. On June 5th, he took a ton of money. I mean, he was he was bet down. He wound up going off at 5-2. That was a big surprise to me. He took all this money. He misbehaved in the paddock. He misbehaved on the track. And he dropped completely back. And then he made this gigantic middle move, as you can see by the charts. I mean, he went from 12 lengths back at the first point of call to only a length and a quarter back at the quarter pole, going a mile. And then, of course, he flattened out, and it was his first race since April. He came back last time. He behaved better. He was once again bet pretty well. And, again, at the bottom level, made a decent bid behind a really slow pace, but those were slow horses. Now he gets to turn back. I like him in here as much as you can like a horse at this level. I'm taking him on top. I think there's some talent in there somewhere, and maybe if he can put together a little bit more, I don't know, even, you might say, trip. I'm going to give him a shot over Raise the Purses, who, like you mentioned, I mean, he comes out of a strong last race buyer, that Moogie Sun race with Knighted, but, you know, he hits bottom now. First time hitting bottom is always an interesting proposition. If they hit bottom for the first time, sometimes they really, that's their day. On the other hand, you see horses that hit bottom after they've already been there and proven they're not that much. And so we'll see. I'm going to try to beat him, but we'll see. I'm trying to beat a couple of Broberg favorites today. We'll see how that goes. That can be tricky.
Yeah, you might be a day late.
Yeah.
Right? Yesterday he couldn't win. He didn't win a single race.
Well, I tried to beat him yesterday, too.
Yeah, and you were successful yesterday.
Well,
we'll see what goes today.
On to the 9th. First level Texas bred allowance horses, 1 mile and 1/16 on the lawn.
Yeah, Papa's boy, it's another Broberg. I either got Mora or Broberg, apparently.
That's true.
And one of those days. But anyway, 4 straight, really good races. Buyer figures are slightly best in this field. He's not coming back super quick, you know, for this outfit. I mean, I think the stars are aligned for him to run a good race. Ready to Shake, who I made 10-1. I'm going to take this horse second in here. Has never raced on turf, but certainly has a turf pedigree, especially on the bottom side. Scored a nice wire-to-wire, state-bred, maiden claiming win. I'm just taking a guess that he's going to really take to the turf, and he's sharp right now. And I felt like this race is just such a toss-up for who you like underneath. First bump ridge, claimed 2 starts back. Horse ran a nice race at this exact same level, similar distance, finishing 4th. Finished up really well that day. Pish decides to put him in a main track sprint last time out. Once again, fell hopelessly behind, but finished up really well. Now back to what I believe is his preferred surface, and he might be a little bit improved for Pish. So maybe that 0-for-10 turf record, I don't think that's as relevant in this field.
Yeah, the one thing I worry a little bit about First Bump is that draw is kind of tough, but he drops so far back out of it that Mora should be able to drop him over and get whatever kind of trip he needs. This is a weird race in that it's very competitive, but you see a lot of really unsightly records. You see a lot of 1 for millions, including Pawpaw's Boy, who's my top pick as well. I mean, he appears a little shy about winning, but, he's always competitive. This isn't the world's strongest group, but it's a good race because you could make a case for a lot of them. But I'm going with Pawpaw's Boy. I mean, I thought his last race was pretty good. I think we know he should be able to handle the distance. So, that 0-for-12 on the turf, see how that works. But, he's run some decent races on the turf. So I like him. Over Ready to Shake as well. I went with him for the speed factor. I like the idea that he's going to be up in the race. And then my third pick is going to be the 11 Moolah Omega, who actually I scratched into last time in his first race in almost a year. And he didn't run a whole lot, but he should be much tighter today. And he exits open company, gets back into state breds. He might go okay over this course. We'll see.
Yeah, this is a toughie. Papaw's Boy, 5-2. On buyers, you think I'd have made him like 8-5. But when you look at how he's been bet in state-bred allowance races on turf, he doesn't get bet. He's been 10-1, 8-1. At this exact condition, he has not run near as well as he has in condition claiming races. So we'll see. We'll see. Like you, he should win, but does he want to win?
Yeah.
It like often happens with horses at this level, you just don't know.
I picked against him last time and went with King Congo in that 9-furlong main track race, but I'm on his bandwagon on this particular case. All right, well, some interesting races today. Good opportunity to make some money. We got a little carryover in the 6-shooter starting in race 4. We got a nice carryover in the Super High 5.
And were you going to mention Smash Ticket?
Oh, yeah. Smash Ticket, formerly trained by Todd Fincher. He's now with
Rob Atras, I think.
Rob Atras in New York. He's racing today in the 8th race at Belmont Park. That's the Grade 3 Victory Ride Stakes. She is, I should say, Smash Ticket, who's been so impressive here in a couple of different races, including one this meet. So if you're keeping an eye on Belmont Park, they have a terrific card today, do they not?
Yeah, they do.
Smash Ticket has been shipped east. Race 8 today, so that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, I like to see Lone Star horses that impressive here go off somewhere and win, and doesn't always happen, but it has happened often enough where you got to respect this filly. She's very fast.
Yeah. So, and she's going to be favored to run well today. All right. Well, we'll be back again tomorrow in this same time, 11 o'clock first post now on the weekends. Good luck this morning and afternoon.
Home here at Lone Star Park at Grand Prix. Sellers' third victory in tonight's NTRA All-Star.
Coming down to the finish, Singletary to catch, Antonius Pius veers
in. By Jerry Bailey and Kieran fell on the outside. Jerry Bailey goes to the lead, gets the head in front and remains perfect this year.
The horses are ready. Are you?
DFW's most unique dining experience is at Lone Star Park, and it's called Silks. Win big dining at Silks, featuring tiered panoramic views overlooking the racetrack, access to our reimagined all-you-can-eat buffet, betting from the convenience of your table, and so much more. Tickets are on sale now for the Thoroughbred Racing season, now running through July 24th. Visit LoneStarPark.com/tickets to reserve your seats today.
Hey you, yeah you, sitting and watching the races. Where's your swag? You don't got none. How can you even call yourself a true fan without the genuine article Star Park swag? I don't think so. Why don't you go mosey on down to the corral on the first floor? They got something for everyone. Gifts, garments, and plenty of other stuff to take a gander at. Now if that don't put a bee in your bonnet, nothing will. Still plenty of time to check out the corral. What you waiting for?
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make 'em stay there.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. First race coming up in 23 minutes. Main track fast and the turf course firm. The races will begin on time, so please wager early. At this time, we direct your attention to the winner's circle as Lissa Escudero performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Lissa Escudero. We thank you for joining us on this Saturday at Lone Star Park. If you have your program handy, here are the overweights and changes on today's 9-race card. We start right out on the turf course with a Jackpot Super High 5 wagering race. The carryover into the first race Super High 5 is $18,954. Change the rider on the 6 Metropole, make it Gerardo Mora. Gerardo Mora to ride the 6 Metropole in race 1. And scratch the main track only entrant, scratch the 8 Tappet Wise. Second race begins the early pick 4. Make the rider on the 4, Hasta La Vista Honey, Danny Sorensen. Second race number 4, Hasta La Vista Honey, make the rider Danny Sorensen. No changes at this time in race 3. Fourth race begins the 6-shooter wager, 50-cent minimum. That's our conventional pick 6. $461 carryover in that. Please note in the fourth race today that we will offer win, exacta, and multi-leg wagering only. No place or show, no trifecta or super on the fourth race because of the following scratches. Scratch number 2 are Captivating. Scratch the 5, Fra Moro. And scratch the 6, Pivolin. From the 4th race, scratch 2, 5, and 6. In today's 5th, make the 1 Geminator 1 pound over. And please note Geminator had a work that did not make the program because of its recency. Geminator worked on July 5th here at Lone Star Park. Geminator went 3 furlongs on a fast track in 38.87 seconds breezing. Change the rider on the 7 Wildcats Bling. Make it Danny Sorensen. Danny Sorensen on the 7 Wildcats Bling in the 5th. Sixth race begins the late pick 4. No changes at this time in the 6th. Turning ahead to the 7th. Number 4, Madame Rue, 1 pound over. And please note the 1, Moro Molly, had a gate work. It was back in May. It has dropped off the printed editions of the program. Number 1, Moro Molly, back on May 6th here at Lone Star, worked 3 furlongs on a fast track, breezing out of the gate in 36.75 seconds. And number 4, Madame Rue, had a work here July 5th. Madame Rue, July 5th at Lone Star, 2 furlongs, quarter of a mile, on a fast track in 25.92 seconds breezing. In today's 8th, scratch number 5, Detective Bernardo, and scratch number 6, Tisnow's Grandson. Scratch 5, Detective Bernardo, and 6, Tisnow's Grandson from the 8th. And an equipment change, number 9, Initiator, races today without blinkers. Blinkers off. Number 9, Initiator. Ninth and final race is our other Jackpot Super High 5 wagering race. No changes. That's all we have at this time. We're fast and firm on the racetracks. Please wager early. Post-parade and warm-up will be short this afternoon and this morning. And good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, please note a late scratch in today's fifth race here at Lone Star Park. This information just in. In the fifth race, scratch the 5, Magic Bow. That's in Lone Star's fifth. Scratch the 5, Magic Bow.
Dominoes falling right in the street. Baby, this time there's no retreat, there's no surrender. A devil is rising, a shadow from the past, feeding the flames, the fire on the edge of fury. Out of time, running in and out of time. Hear the ticking of the countdown clocks tonight. Girl, we need some action. If we're gonna make it like a true survivor, we need some action. If we wanna take our love away from here, we need a living passion to believe.
And a pleasant good Saturday morning to everybody joining us here at Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. Great day to be here at the races. A great 9-race live card this afternoon here, or this morning here at this Lone Star Park. Kind of hard to wrap my head around the morning factor, but that's where we need to be with this weather the way it is. My name is Dave Appleton. I'll be down here in the saddling paddock area as always. We'll take a look at each and every race. I'll pick out a couple of horses that I think fit the conditions, and hopefully I can give you a couple of winners throughout the afternoon. Looking at the first race on the card, we kick it off going over to the turf course. They go a distance of 1 mile and 1/8. This race is a conditioned allowance race. It is for 3-year-olds and upwards that have never won 2 races other than a maiden, claiming starter, trial, or state-bred allowance, or which have never won 4 career races lifetime. Looking over this field, the one, Go Speed Racer Go. I think he has been screaming out to run further down the racetrack. When you look at his form, you look back through his last 10 races, he has a win and a second at the mile and the 16th distance. Came running in those races last time out, running in this exact same level. He closed well down the racetrack to be only beaten a half a length. Draws the inside. I think with this extended distance down the racetrack, a lot to like about him. Finishing right behind him last time out was the 6 Metropool, another one that closed well down the racetrack. Been a very, very consistent horse since he was gone to the barn of Jaime Castellanos. Comes into this spot. He's been 6 for 6 in the barn always seems to be right there each and every time. He's a horse that always seems to run well. Then the 3, Colosi. This horse is also is going to improve the further he goes down the track. Son of City Zip comes off a good, strong second. First time into this condition. Again, another horse that'll love the extra eighth of a mile from that last race that he ran. And then the 5, Caro Warrior. Interesting horse. He could be sort of somewhat the lone speed. I think when you look at this horse on the lone speed on the front end angle, he really looks like if they leave him alone, and sometimes in these longer races, everyone will sort of get out there and lull along. If they go through a half in like 25 and change, a half in 50 and change, and then go 3/4 in 12 or something like that, look out. This horse could be very, very dangerous and have plenty of run in the run down the lane, so I think he is a must-use. I went 1, 6, 3, 5 in the opener. This race does offer win place show, exacta, a 50-cent try, a 10-cent super, and also it kicks off our daily double. Plus, it also kicks off our first rolling pick 3. Plus, we've also got the super high five jackpot, a fun bet. All you have to do is pick the original first 5 runners in the correct order. If you have the only ticket, you get the whole pot. If you don't have that and there's other people that have the same thing, there'll be a consolation payoff, and it'll roll over to our last race on the card, race number 9. Good luck with your selections.
Shane Wigley calls him postward for the first race at 1 mile and 1 furlong on the turf. This race includes the Jackpot Super High 5 wager and has 5 minutes to post. Again, we appreciate your cooperation and please wagering early. Scratch number 8, Tap It Wise. Put jockey Gerardo Mora on number 6, Metropole. The high 5 carry over $18,954. minutes.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone.
So good behind the wheel, get my stomach turning. Speed Racer, hit the gas, smell the rubber burning. Vroom. Gotta get with him, he's a top ride. How could I not love him when he's better than the bad guys?
Baby, so give me room. Baby, you hit a boom. There's no need to wonder whom. Baby, when I be zipping and dipping, I got you tripping magnificent. If you're in a predicament or if danger is imminent, hey. He's up and falling as he goes around the track. He's jamming down the phone like he's never coming back. And that's just when he says, hey, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go.
Who's the quickest one around? Gas in the Mach 5. Who's the best demon in town? The fastest one alive. Always ends up on top and tears it up for show. So everybody get it out. Go Speed Racer, go.
I'm the quickest one around. Get to the Mach 5. I'm the best demon in town. The fastest one alive. I always end up on top. Tear it up for show. So everybody yell it out. Go Speed Racer, go.
원은 머리 쌌게 가대는 가스피 힘이 하시는 웃겠다 어떤 원도 거시대 하도 윙크니 look out yeah 어쩜 위더 해달래 길라는 나는 나 바보
横がオワク心射抜くシュートを食らわせ抜かすぜベイビーテクニックはてっぺんに狙うてっぺんまるで狙うボールのない欠点ルールな危険様が世間用意は生かせ yeah He's up and flying as he goes around the track He's jamming down the phone like he's never coming back Then that's just when he says hey go Speed Racer go Speed Racer go Speed Racer go go Speed Racer go Speed Racer go Speed Racer go I'm taking the lead. Yo, en su marca, listo, fuera. No puedes conmigo, competencia quien sea. Luz verde, rápido acelero. El momento se pone intenso. La goma como quema. Sin alas, pero mira cómo vuela. Desde el principio lo que pienso es ganar. Nada puede pasar.
The field is approaching the gate. The horses are arriving at the gate for Lone Star's first out of 9 today. Mile and 1/8 on the firm turf. Go Speed Racer, go, the first to load. In goes Cairo Warrior, Metropole, and U.S. Navy Cross. Next pair in will be Colossi and Midas Cat. Smoky Harbor will wrap up the loading. The solid yellow. They're all in line. And they're off. Off to a good start on this Saturday. Go Speed Racer, go on the inside. Colossi out well. Metropole, Cairo Warrior as well. Smoky Harbor is just off of them. Midas Cat to the outside, and U.S. Navy Cross picks it up here as they come to the wire the first time. Then a trio behind him. Colossi second ahead. Metropole to the outside third. Go Speed Racer go is fourth while saving ground. And then at Smoky Harbor, in the back pair are U.S. Navy Cross toward the inside and Midas Cat up alongside him. That back pair, 7, maybe 8 lengths off the lead as they turn onto the backstretch. Cairo Warrior with the lead, a little more than a length, and Colossi is a chasing second, and Metropole appears to be a comfortable third from the outside. Go Speed Racer go on the inside is fourth. Then comes Smoky Harbor. He's in the 2 path that appears up the backstretch. He's running in fifth. Gap of 2.5 then to Midas Cat, U.S. Navy Cross. That late runner is reserved on the inside here as they advance into the far turn. Cairo Warrior maintains the lead. It's a diminishing lead as Colossi is trying to cut into that margin. Metropole is 2 lengths off the lead, and Metropole is about to be engulfed from the outside by Smoky Harbor and from the inside by Go Speed Racer Go. And then it's about 3 lengths back, and U.S. Navy Cross has commenced his rally on the outside. Midas Cat's been on hold at the back end of the field. They're into the stretch. Cairo Warrior still the one to overhaul. Go Speed Racer Go dives through right on the inside. Here's Colossi on the outside in a 3-way driving finish. Cairo Warrior, Go Speed Racer Go comes through on the inside. Belated move from U.S. Navy Cross. Go Speed Racer Go takes it. Then U.S. Navy Cross. Trouble at the end for Cairo Warrior. He was followed by Colossi. Please hold all tickets until the results are official. The time, 1 minute 49.38 seconds. Unofficial winner number 1, Go Speed Racer Go. Second, number 2, U.S. Navy Cross. It is a photo for third. Please secure all tickets until the results are official. Third, number 5, Cairo Warrior. Fourth, number 3, Colossi. Fifth, number 6, Metropole. Your attention, please. We have both a steward's inquiry into the stretch drive and a jockey's objection by rider Ernesto Valdez Jimenez against the unofficial winner, alleging interference in the late stages, steward's inquiry, and a rider's objection. Please hold all tickets. Your attention, please. After reviewing the stretch run, the stewards have ruled there will be no change in the original order of finish. The result stands as run. Results are now official. 1, 2, 5, 3, 6. 1, 2 on the exacta pays $44. 1, 2, 5 on the try, $67. In the winner's circle, Go Speed Racer Go under Weston Hamilton. Go Speed Racer Go is a bay 4-year-old gelding by Summer Front. From the mare Ambling, bred in Kentucky by Randall Family Trust. Owned by Country Bro Stables and trained by Martin Villafranco. Time for the opener, 1 minute 49.38 seconds. 10-cent superfecta here, 1, 2, 5, 3. Pays $19.35, and the high five returns $177.16. Carried over to today's ninth race, $19,367.77. 20 minutes to post for race 2. Danny Sorensen to ride number 4, Hasta La Vista Honey. The second begins the early pick 4. First race winner, number 1, Go Speed Racer Go. Second, number 2, U.S. Navy Cross. Third, number 5, Cairo Warrior. And fourth, number 3, Colosi. 6, Metropole was fifth.
Second race this afternoon goes 6 furlongs. This is a maiden special weight race for Texas accredited maidens, 3-year-olds and upwards. Looking over this field, the two, Sweet Tappin' Moro. Very, very impressed with the job that trainer Mark Witten did with this horse coming off of a layoff. Horse had not been seen at the racetrack for a year, came back, ran in a maiden special weight race, and really ran on well down the racetrack. Now, the horse did run second, beaten some 5 lengths, but just galloped out very impressively. Now with that race under his belt, I think this 4-year-old son of Moro Tap looks like he has a big shot to improve off of that race, should come running late. Not a ton of speed in here. That might be the knock against him, is on the angle of not a lot of speed, but I do think off of that race should be improved. Stretches 5.5 to 6 furlongs, all positives to a horse that likes to come from off the pace. The 5, a Binding Heart, another 4-year-old colt from Bind, comes into this spot. String of very, very nice workouts. That breeze on the 19th working from the gate, 48 flat. Then another breeze before that, 48 and 3. Joe Alfolta does a great job with first-time starters. Horse draws to the outside. He's got one more horse outside of him. Perfect spot for a first-time starter. Probably will show some speed based upon those works, so there's definitely some talent there. The 4, Hasta La Vista Honey, comes into this spot. Closed well down the racetrack, rallied down the track, comes out of the same race in which Sweet Tappin' Moro ran second. This horse ran 4th, so I think you've got to use that one. And then the 2, He Dares the Devil, comes in, blinkers come off, has shown some pace in his first couple of races back off of a layoff. Wouldn't surprise with the blinkers off. They're trying to get him to settle a little bit and finish stronger on the back end. So I think this horse also merits respect. 2, 5, 4, 3, again, Win Play Show. Exactas, a 50-cent try, a 10-cent super, and also a 50-cent pick 3 and a 50-cent pick 4 get kicked off in this race. Good luck with your selections.
The field is approaching the track for the second race, the Queen K, and her birthday crew purse at 3/4 of a mile. Danny Sorensen rides the 4 Hasta La Vista Honey. This race kicks off the early pick 4, goes off in 5 minutes.